All right, welcome back to the Fan Forum. You got me here, Mark. I'm going to go over some Lions recap. We're almost wrapping training camp up. We've got preseason game number 2 coming up for the Lions. It's obviously week 1 of the preseason for everybody else, but I'm going through some articles, man, and I can't contain my excitement for Hutch right now. We went and talked about a little bit in our last couple episodes. How's he going to look? What do we expect out of him? Can he replicate the season that he started last year? Well, I want to bring this up right now. So, Dan Campbell apparently has something new, a new rule that he's came up with, and it's called the Hutch Rule. So, apparently Aidan Hutchinson, he's been so dominant for the Lions training camp that Dan Campbell, sometimes he has to adapt this thing called the Hutch Rule. Now, that's where when Hutchinson beats his man, and likely has a sack on that play, but they're not going to blow the whistle. So what they'll do is they'll continue the rep so the offense can get their work in, right? I thought that was amazing. So listen, if you can't block Hutch and he's going to blow up every practice up, then that's not good either. That's what Dan Campbell said on Wednesday. So to me, this just sets the tone for the first game when we see him lining up. There was the Jordan rule. Now there's the Hutch rule. So let that sink in, guys. The man, I think, is going to dominate. Dominate's an understatement. The man is going to inspire. I think he's going to play inspiring football this year. If there's anybody that's a Detroit Pro athlete that is ever been in their prime that is chasing something right now, it's Hutchinson. I mean, we saw what Calvin did with the records that he put up. Not to downplay Calvin and what he did, but this is Super Bowl football we're talking right now. So I'll give you an example of what happened today in practice. The offense was given the ball down 24-14 with 3:41 on the clock in the fourth quarter on their own 31-yard line. The offense was able to navigate down the field and score with a little over a minute to go. But Hutchinson had a third down sack that the offense was allowed to play through. That would have made a fourth and long situation very hard. Safety Kirby Joseph also likely had a sack out of blitz, and Campbell let the offense continue through. So the article mentions Kirby Joseph as well. Ladies and gentlemen, if you watch that atrocious football game where the Kyle Allen-led Lions faced off the Jim Harbaugh-led Chargers, because that's all we heard about, you got to kind of keep in mind that the dogs that we've got sitting on the sideline with those badass white hats and their warm-ups, I mean, this is next-level football when these guys step on compared to the bums that were just put out there. So, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he got a touchdown for the offense with a little over a minute on the clock. I can't tell you how many clips I've seen of Amon-Ra St. Brown blowing past every single corner that we have. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing for us and a bad thing with DJ Reed. Kind of got me thinking, are we going to miss Carlton Davis the third this year? Or is Amon-Ra just that nasty, right? DJ's obviously not trying to hurt the guy, but look for Amon-Ra to have an incredible Pro Bowl season. So we've got a couple different also good things. Hutchinson had a deflected pass on first down. Boy, he can get his arms up. Veteran defensive back Avonte Maddox ended up winning the drill for the defense when a ball bounced off wide receiver Jamison Williams and into Maddox's hands for the inception. So a lot of these names that we're talking about, again, we don't talk about them during the preseason games, right? So Terrion Arnold, he's still with the hamstring. Enos Rackstraw Jr., shoulder. They didn't practice. Not too worried about them fellas. Nickel cornerback Amik Robinson stepped outside opposite of DJ Reed, and the defense didn't skip a beat. So that's the stuff you want to hear. We saw what he did in the role Week 18 last season in the win over Minnesota, and he held Vikings All-Pro wide receiver Justin Jefferson to 3 catches for 54 yards and 9 targets. So, great report out of camp, guys. It's just as a Lions fan like myself, I know I'm ready to get into the season and see kind of what our offensive line and our defensive line does against the actual starters. Jared Goff gets tons of high praises. So, moral of the story is, folks, we now have the Hutch Rule. Forget the Jordan Rule, ladies and gentlemen. We now have the Hutch Rule. All right, with that being said, I want everybody to like and subscribe to the Fan Forum page. I want everybody to check out, we've got Hermdo now. He's out there filling content for us, doing Lions recap, Red Wings, Tigers, Pistons. So you're going to get all of us. Hitch is also going to be doing a recap of Taxi, the 1970s, is that an NBC or ABC show? But look for that to come out real soon. And he'll also be doing a Gomer Pyle watch-along podcast. So like, subscribe, love the Fan Forum. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Remember, we got the Hutch Rule now.
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.